Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
And it's the show. I don't want to
YDEK.
say
you don't even know.
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
I don't want to say that this is the show that our entire series has been building to,
But
I'll say exactly that. This is the show
This
that
is
our
the
entire
moment.
series has been building to.
this is
because
the singular event.
we're about to dedicate an entire hour to talking about Avengers Endgame.
So if you haven't listened to all the other episodes,
What have you been doing?
Also, if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, please
Yeah.
stop.
this is going to be like super
Do not.
spoiler.
I
Also,
don't-
since it's been a month since the movie's been out,
also, I
what
kind
have
of
you
don't.
been doing?
I don't care, and you probably don't either. Because if you cared about spoilers, you would have seen it by now.
Yeah, you'd have gotten in there.
But if you're one of the 10 people left that both
Does
hasn't
care
seen the
about
movie
spoilers.
and lets me finish my sentence and does care about spoilers, please stop, because I guarantee
Yeah.
when I say the words Iron Man dies at the end of the movie, you'll be really sad. Got him.
Good. Everyone knew that was going to happen anyway.
Did they, though?
I actually did not.
I didn't think they were going to
I
kill
went
him.
into that movie going, that man is worth, because he gets paid $1 gazillion out of every movie.
Because he's what makes the Avengers the Avengers.
Because he's the first person, he actually worked back-end pay into his contract, so he makes a percentage of how much the movie makes.
Nice.
Isn't that a great contract?
The other people don't have that in their contract, but he did it because they paid him nothing for the first Iron Man movie.
Really?
So
like actually nothing, or like a small amount?
very little.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, and they were experimenting with the studio at all, and he's like, look, guys, just give me back in pay, because this isn't gonna turn into anything. Who really cares? I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
gonna
it's
do
going to be
that much.
another
Oh,
Hulk.
he did that at the front end.
Yeah, like
Nice.
and Iron Man first. He's like, so anyway, he works out like this super sweetheart deal, and then all of a sudden he becomes like the absolute centerpiece of the MCU, and they're like, we're making another movie. We need to put Robert in it.
How many of the MCU movies has he not been in? Like, even for a mini cameo, anything?
I'm positive not very many, because he ends up making like $68 million of film now.
Yeah.
So when you look at the budget, and it's ballooned from like when they made Force Awakens and they spent $250 million, and you're like, geez, is that just how much it costs to make a movie when you have no concern for money? And then when they made Endgame and it's $356 million, you're like, that movie only cost $250 to make, and that last $100 million is just for the cast.
Just goes.
Yeah, that's just for RDJ.
Yeah, that's a gift. That's a birthday present to him. But unfortunately for Disney, he's worth every single dollar. And I don't even think, as much as it hurt me, as much as it stabbed me in the chest, because I was like, Chris Evans is going to leave. His contract is up. He's out of here. I never in my life expected them to eliminate their goose that kept laying the golden eggs. But nothing could have been more meaningful. Nothing would have been a better gut punch than like
The guy that's been with you since day
as
one.
soon as you see him holding up the gems, you're like, oh, he's gone.
Oh my gosh! Remember
If-
when that
if
almost
Hulk
killed freaking Hulk
Yeah.
and Thanos?
Yeah.
RDJ's not powerful like them.
Yeah, so
He's just human.
But you see him holding up his hand, and you're like, everything's gonna be okay. But what is it? What did it cost us, the fans? Everything. Like
Whatever it takes.
whatever. The one thing we didn't want to, like, anybody else can go, right?
To be on TBH, they foreshadowed it a little bit, and I kind of saw it coming when he pulled up to the Avengers headquarters and he was talking with Cap, and he was like, "Hey, I have to come back. That's my top priority." He's like, "Number one for me is what I have here. Number two for me is bringing everything else back. That'd be cool too. But like, I need to come back." And when he said that, I was like, he's not coming back.
They say they actually foreshadowed it with the arm, the recurring injury that he has in his arm, where he keeps his arm keeps bugging him, you know? Like there's several movies where he keeps like referring to it like it's either shaking or in pain.
Really? I
Yeah.
can't even remember that at all.
Yeah. There's a couple times where they keep talking
Well,
about
they
it.
foreshadowed it in what's that one movie where the Russian chick that turns out isn't Russian anymore?
Black Widow?
No, the other one.
Oh, Wanda.
Wanda, thank you. She touched her face. She's like, "Here's a dream. Here's the future."
When he sees everyone dying.
Yeah. Yep. That's when they really like foreshadowed.
I was
Thanos
just
killing everyone.
I was thrilled that they gave callbacks to Ultron. I want to put a suit of armor around the world.
Yep.
You know, like you said we would win. We didn't. I told you. Like Robert Downey Jr. gets to shove everybody else's idealism just right up their butt. Just take it. Like you said we would all win together. We didn't. It didn't work. I love the opening scene of the movie when they beat up Thanos, they chop his head off.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, Thor just does it just because he's still like mad.
Sure, but even after you kill him, it doesn't do you any good.
Doesn't undo anything.
Like, hooray, we de-Thanosed, and he's like, so I snapped him out of existence, so it really doesn't matter, right? And they're like, oh, geez, we just killed the big bad guy. How many movies do you get to kill the big bad guy in the first 10 minutes of the movie?
That's
None.
the crazy part of the movie.
Yeah, they just killed the big bad. And it'd be like, killing Emperor Palpatine in the first 10 minutes of the movie. And then it's like,
Granted, he came back.
sure.
They didn't really kill him.
But if you had.
Yeah. And then they really did kill him at the end.
Yeah.
They made him not exist.
Yeah.
They made him cease to be. Mm-hmm. Which is. Do you wish that they had kept the Infinity Stones in universe, or just Thanos gets cast away, or like, are you sad that Thanos and the Infinity Gems are gone forever? That they're like Thanos isn't lurking out there in the background as some other big bad that could potentially come back at some point.
I don't think so. There's been 12 years of working up to this Thanos moment.
Yeah, there's been him floating in the chair.
And there's plenty of other big bad guys out
Yeah.
there. Maybe not quite as many big and bad like him, but he was a great starting point, but there's a lot of others that we get to touch now.
Yeah, he was such a good villain though.
Yeah.
Even he being how strategic he was amazing. Like in his actual hand-to-hand combat fighting skills, like when he was punching someone, or what is it, Captain Marvel, punching her, and she holds his hand, like, don't do anything, like holding your fingers apart, and him using his other hand takes the gem off and then punches her away. We using that gem.
Yeah, he's
that
like
was the best.
He finally met his match, and he's like, nah, we're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this thing right now. Like,
And then, so I'm curious,
yeah.
is this a plot hole, or
Tell me.
is Thanos really this strong? How did Thanos destroy Captain America's shield? Because Captain America's shield is made out of vibranium, which in theory absorbs and then reflects vibrations and impacts.
That's what we see Captain Panther's armor do all day when he pops purple when people hit him too many times.
And we saw it when Thor hit his shield real hard and it made a big shockwave and leveled a whole forest.
yeah.
But then when Thanos hits it with a sword a couple times, it like breaks in half. I'm
Yes.
like,
What's his sword made out of?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Reversed by vibranium, where it's depolarizing the vibranium.
Does vibranium kill vibranium, or do they both bounce off of each other because they're both absorbing and reflecting the shockwaves?
But we don't necessarily know that vibranium, for sake of argument, and this is comic books, for sake of argument, we only know that vibranium is the strongest material on Earth. Mm-hmm. We don't know that in all of Thanos' conquests of multiple worlds, has he found something that can deal with that.
Yeah, because vibranium's not even from Earth.
So
okay, sure, I'll buy that.
Yeah,
so that's acceptable for me.
I'm just making this up as I go along, but if there's a metal that vibrates vibranium as it hits it or comes near it, that could potentially chop it
kind of like
apart.
the north end of the magnet to vibranium south.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yes. Depolarizing.
That's less palatable than Justin's suggestion.
Okay.
Just
Thanks.
that there's a even harder metal out there somewhere that Earth people don't know about yet.
Well, it's an anti-vibranium.
It just seems too kryptonite-y for me,
Well,
you know?
I think, okay, the one thing that's made Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man a fun hero to watch was his vulnerability, that he had this soft, squishy inside, and his armor is breakable. And we see it get kill me now. Just right now, dead. Into my face.
Do a break-in.
Do breaking.
Yeah.
Or even in Civil War when we see like, multiple leg breaks and she's telling him his bodily injuries and he's like, yeah, I know about that. Like, so in this movie, every other time we've seen that shield just take a hit and laugh, right? Mm-hmm. But we've never gotten to see that shield be just as vulnerable as Iron Man is or any of the others, right? Mm-hmm. We know that the shield has plot armor and it's just going to take it and keep going. And as soon as you see a crack, as soon as he swings it the first time and it just chips it a little bit, he pushes down and it goes in about half an inch. You're like, he's going to die right now.
Yeah.
Because that shield can't swing it. And then he just starts hacking away at this thing.
Captain America is a real soft, squishy boy without that shield.
Pretty much. I mean,
not really, though.
Compared to Thanos.
Yes, compared to Thanos.
Compared to literally like everyone.
Yeah.
We don't know the full.
The only thing that Captain America is more special than is regular people. Everybody else tells Captain America on your left.
No. He took on Thanos face to face and didn't just cave down.
The three original Avengers, Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America, all fight Thanos as hard as they possibly can. And Captain America has Mjolnir. So we have two god weapons and Captain America going all out, buck wild, and they basically don't win hand to hand. Wanda looks at him and says, I'm a little bit angry right now. You have caught me at the wrong time. And she pulls him apart and he has to nuke himself and his entire army so he doesn't die.
I really did enjoy that moment when Wanda lost it.
Yeah. If that's power scaling in film.
That is why they did it in that order. They said, here's Thanos. He's more powerful than Captain America. He broke the sword. Here's Wanda. She broke Thanos' sword.
Yeah. She's like, Wanda says no. So she's just like, "Urgh," and he would have died right there if he didn't just start blowing up everything.
Yeah.
But our own troops, I don't care. You don't understand right now. Just do it.
Here's the difference between DC and Marvel, which I saw at that moment. So Thanos said, rain fire. And his co-pilot, or whoever that is, his assistant said, wait. Like, even the co-pilot's like, no. We have compassion at some level.
Yeah, what about our guys?
Yeah. And they're like, what about our troops?
I don't think it was necessarily compassion. It was just like
concern.
That's our own.
That's us too. And
that's our army.
If we shoot us,
but there was that dialogue still.
Yeah.
With DC, it would have been like, I don't even know a villain,
or the villain would just be like, "Rrr."
No, the villain would say like, okay, rain fire, and they'd be like, his assistant would go, hee, yes, sire. Like there would
click.
Yeah, there would be no dialogue of like, excuse me?
I thought that last TBH, the movie in the middle was a tiny bit slow. Okay, I can be perfectly honest. It did I had 2 hours of like waiting, but that last hour of the biggest battle I have ever seen, that was and we can say that we've seen science fiction movies, big, large, epic battles in movies before.
Yeah.
We've all seen Lord of the Rings. We've all seen, Star Wars. We've seen Marvel.
But if you didn't get chills when all the Doctor Strange portals were opening up and everybody was coming through them and like the battle was on.
Just the fact that the good guys are somehow going to pull it out of their butt, but when you see Captain America standing there alone and Thanos and his whole army lined up behind him in IMAX, you're like, you genuinely feel despair.
No, that was the most American moment I've ever seen in a film besides like documentary of real Americans. but just Captain America standing against all of the hate.
I could do this all day.
Yes, it was just like that scene of just this whole field of
But he didn't even
people.
He didn't even say I could do this all day because he knew, and this is the despair part, he knew he was spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his shield was busted. He was like, I can't do this all day.
Yeah, but
Like,
like
that
Mr.
was
just
something-
never gives up.
He
that's
wasn't
his
giving
mentality.
up, but even in his head, he's like, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, this is
But
it.
he still stood up against the enemy.
He didn't stop.
Yeah.
He was gonna, because then he's a hypocrite, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't lose together.
Yep.
I mean,
That's when you're like, America.
I love that all. And then the only other person that put up a fight against Thanos, Wanda. We have Wanda who was going to school him, and then we have
Captain Marvel.
who took a punch and just had her binary mode up. She can only keep that up. It's like a candle, right? She can only burn that hot until she's used up all of her
Did you
energy
see
that she's absorbed.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
I did not see it, so I'm a little
Okay.
bit not fluent
So-
with that.
But the Captain Marvel gets all her powers and stuff from absorbing energy.
Okay.
So
From where?
she also gained her powers from an Infinity Gem,
Okay.
and so did Wanda. So the two people that are capable of putting up a fight have been infused by an aspect of Infinity.
Oh.
So to think that it takes that level of power versus just Thor or like nothing in this world could have possibly lifted a finger except the two superheroes that are infused by the infinite. I mean, that's the power scaling we have. So
And that was just fighting him not using any gems,
yeah.
besides the taking it off and punching her away with the purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just
So what was he classified as? Is he a Titan?
Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why his whole the theory is that he did something to try and quote help that ended up making his planet extinct.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
'Cause it seems like he kind of regrets, but also wants to undo what he did everywhere. Like, if I kind of do this to save it, I won't regret as much what I did at my planet.
I mean,
So, my question,
yes.
Go on.
I have two.
Okay.
How did you guys feel about Captain America wielding Mjolnir?
Absolutely fine.
Yeah?
Awesome.
Cool.
I didn't know what to think at that point, besides it was a cool solo fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
But diving into is it possible for him?
Yes.
I really don't know what makes it possible for Thor.
It's just, he is worthy. He's chosen. The hammer chooses.
It's AI.
Yeah.
It has a script on it.
The hammer itself is a sentient being that determines whether or not you're worthy to hold it.
Yeah.
And then it's
It has
very
an
binary.
if then else statement of
It's-
if
yeah.
worthy
if worthy
can
equals,
pick up.
can summon, can pick up,
Yeah.
it can use lightning, can if not worthy,
Then no, cannot.
Off.
turn off.
Repeat as necessary. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's all it does. Is
Because
it runs a computer script.
we went over in Thor. Oh no, the first Avengers.
When he like wiggled it a little bit.
No, when he or Justin and I were talking about this when they made the sword. I was like, wait, but it's just a sword.
His axe?
Yeah, his axe.
Okay.
Sorry, his axe. And Justin was like, no, off camera they actually like did their little magic to it.
Well, they have that King's metal isn't powerful just because of the metal that it is.
Yeah.
It's powerful because once it's completed, it has a similar, basically runic script that commands it to be that which it is.
Yeah.
Because it's not like any shape. It's not like if you just dump that metal into a pot and then it comes out. Like that metal has certain properties that make it effective, but it's not like if you just spilled out like you splashed that out of the forge and a little bit hit the ground, then that would have the powers of Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the basically that metal plus the mold it was in
Yeah.
equals special.
So why was it that we were able to make our own glove for the gems,
Oh, I know this one.
but we didn't use the fancy metal that he originally used?
I know this.
Go ahead. I wanna know.
First of all, our glove wasn't as good as his.
Okay.
Okay. B, just like the metal itself is only so special without the script put on it. So we know that the Infinity Gauntlet was only so special without the inscriptions. Right? Like the be found worthy and everything.
I didn't know there was any inscriptions on it.
Well, there is on Thor's hammer. So there are ways to augment that material beyond its base, like just lump of metal.
You have to put a plug-in on it.
Yeah, exactly. So you have Windows XP, and then like Service Pack 2 is the inscription, and nobody would ever run XP without Service Pack 2.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to like dumb it down a little bit, but then you went
sorry,
you went full like
sorry.
IT on it.
I just mean like you have the glove, which was good, and then we also know number 2, Tony has created new elements in his garage in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
So obviously, when he's needed to synthesize something that was different than what he had available, he's rendered it, and he's also had exposure to the various Norse Asgardian metals. So it's not like he wouldn't want to study all these wonderful materials. It's not like his curiosity, like for goodness sakes, he finds the mind gem, let's touch it and see what it does.
Yeah.
So if he has access to, and Thor just leaves his hammer on a table, so the first thing RDJ is going to do, Tony Stark, is going to do is stick that thing under an electron microscope and say, Jarvis, analyze.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
he's going to check this stuff out.
So it was a synthetic metal of the whatever you said.
Sure.
King's metal or
He was sitting there and he's like, look, I already made a device that could help us travel through time with a Mobius
because
strip.
he's had 5 years
to think about
think
it
of that. Okay.
and be like, how would I? Because they know that they want to go get Thanos and then kill him and then unsnap, because they didn't know when they killed Thanos that he undid the gems. They thought they were going to get him and get the gems,
Yeah.
and then be able to do it.
Got it. So he already had it prepped.
they knew from then. They're like, what do we do once we have the gems?
Got it. I see. Another question. Why was Hulk able to hold a gem like normal?
Oh, just when he's like, which gem was he holding?
Time stone.
That one has been held by lots of people normally. Like Doctor Strange held that one.
But is he really holding it? Like, because he kind of floats it. I'm okay with the floating.
Like the special bald lady, she took it out of the thing and like tossed it to Hulk. Like,
no, she floated it out.
She did?
Yeah. It's all she doesn't.
Well, maybe it was still floating. He was just touching the aura. They played a little fast and loose with you can't touch them.
Yeah.
I thought you only couldn't touch a couple of them. I didn't know you couldn't
I know
touch.
power obviously melts you into mud.
Yeah,
the purple one.
Yeah, that one you can't touch, and I would agree with not touching the Tesseract, but like the time one and like the soul one that aren't like woo, woo, like radiating.
Even Thanos held the soul one, and it's a pretty calm stone. And he's like, oh, okay.
Okay, so the soul one, it just depends on the stone.
Some of them are grumpier than others.
Yeah, because like
we know
Hawkeye held the soul one, didn't he, when he got it from the planet?
Yeah.
And we know that the ether is like a hate nest.
Yeah, but that one they had in a little vial.
Yeah.
See, so the grumpy ones they didn't touch.
I
don't think that's a plot hole. I think there is.
I didn't say it was a plot hole. I was just.
I think there's 3 upset stones and 3 that are.
Yeah. They're
more
the
chill.
yin and yang, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 of them that are like Netflix and chill.
And 3 of them
that are like, nah.
Get away from me. Let's just be friends. I'm going to ghost you and not even call you.
Okay.
So my second question, now that we're done with that question,
Okay.
is why did we have to have the magical all-woman superhero scene?
I know why. I know.
I know a legitimate reason. For
I
that.
know.
Like,
Pick me.
So
it's just
okay, go ahead, Justin, then I'll answer.
it's just so like out of place and like annoying. Like, I'm all about women's rights, like, and equality and all of those things, but like, you don't have to like shove it down my throat and say like, look at all the girls. I'm like, yeah, I already know the two girls are the most powerful. Like, I get it. Like, you don't have to have them all.
I mean,
I know. Like, Wanda and Captain Marvel,
that's
already,
just it.
already the most powerful out of the group.
Yeah.
You don't have to then get like the rest of them together to go charge into battle and have all the guys like standing somewhere. Like,
Go ahead,
gosh,
Justin.
okay,
I'll tell you.
So
after you.
okay, so here why.
okay.
So it's probably has something to do with Marvel wanting to continue or expand upon the $2.1 billion it made, bringing it to the number 2 spot worldwide of all time. The larger there, it's rare for a movie to be the number 2 movie of all time in 2 weeks. It's pretty unprecedented.
Number 2 movie of all time? That's not what I'm seeing on Box Office Mojo.
What are you saying?
Worldwide.
Well, wow.
All time. Oh, yeah, there it is. Sorry.
Okay, number 2. So it passed up Titanic. Titanic got there in like 19 weeks.
Avatar's still number 1?
Now Avatar 2.
How is Avatar?
Avatar wasn't good.
I've only seen Avatar once.
No, Avatar happened when IMAX 3D was just coming out, and it was a super great spectacle, and so 90% of the people that went and saw it on IMAX 3D. It's
Sorry.
fine.
Let me
But
say.
I think Endgame's going to do it, guys. I think.
Because it got this far, most movies that are this huge track at like 25% of their gains opening weekend.
Like,
if you do that, 25% of your opening weekend is like $4 billion. So
I'm not sure
saying
if
it's gonna
these
make
numbers.
4.
I think these are billions of
What?
numbers. It's at. So I'm not sure if this is billion or million. No, that's got to be billion. It's Endgame is at 2.1 billion.
Yeah, 2.188.
Really? It's at 2.193 now. It's gone up.
Oh, jeez.
Justin just checked an hour
And
ago.
the Avatar is at
2.7.
2.788.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna do it, guys. Because I just was looking at tickets the other
Avatar's
day.
been out for years.
I've been looking at tickets the other day for this weekend because I'm gonna go see it again this weekend.
Yeah.
And it, like, there's still many theaters that are very sold out for
saw
this
it,
weekend.
Christy and I saw it again
Uh-huh.
on the Wednesday after it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's already been out for most of the week, like 6 days.
Yeah.
And at 9:40 in the morning, the theater was virtually full. Like,
yeah,
there
except
were
the front row. Like, nobody cares about the front row.
Those don't count.
No,
But-
but all of these theaters that are selling out, I'm not saying it's going to make $4 billion, but even the domestic box office record holder, Force Awakens, which was, as Star Wars was our American mythology, made a killing, heaps of money domestically. Like, the next closest domestic movie is like a third less, 30% less than Force Awakens made. I can tell you right now that day for day, Endgame is ahead of where
Oh, of course. It's been a 12-year movie.
it was, but it's still, how many of us were waiting for a Star Wars movie for 10 years? We were like, oh, Star Wars. So
No, but they had this
No, but
giant- there was no
Star
dip.
Wars made an absolute killing, and that killing is being absolutely eclipsed
Yes.
by what
But
Endgame
Justin,
is doing.
Justin, there was no dip in Marvel movies. There was no dip in the Marvel universe.
I know, but what they're
Or
telling us
Crash.
now, and Josiah knows, that they're telling us today that Star Wars is going to slow down because they don't really feel like releasing a Star Wars movie every year it's kind of hurtful. With the fans can't really absorb that much, and we're like, just give us good movies. But they're blaming it that they overexposed us to too
They're
much
blaming
Star
it
Wars.
on the fans?
They're saying that we wouldn't possibly desire to watch Star Wars once a year.
Just give me
They're
what I
having
want,
Star
and
Wars
I'll watch
fatigue.
it every day.
And then on Marvel, they're like, so we're going to release 3 a year. And they look over at Star Wars, and Star Wars is like, I don't know, maybe one every like 6 years.
That's
you know?
they made a boo-boo, and now they're
And
scared.
so
They made
I just, the whole...
2 boo-boos.
the whole like superhero fatigue now. And then I'm done watching Endgame, and the news stories are like the next movie is probably going to like slip off because everybody's going to take a break after Endgame. But then I look at the movie for the Spider-Man trailer, and I'm like, this movie is going to be charming and delightful as well.
Yeah.
So we have Endgame. I'm looking at domestic box office numbers, and Endgame just passed The Last Jedi.
Oh.
It's at 621 mil.
Yeah, time Last Jedi.
Yeah, and
in 2 weeks,
Last Jedi is at 620. It just passed it.
That's how much Last Jedi was able to make its entire box, and this is just its second week. Just its,
That's amazing. But
this is so ridiculous.
I'm gonna get back to my.
It deserves
point.
every penny.
I'm gonna get back to my point one day. So the reason
I was gonna.
You were gonna what?
I mean, technically, Justin's still on his point. Why they had the girl scene.
Half of it's that.
Goodness gracious.
Because
Yeah.
No, but the reason we love the Marvel Universe is because the hyper charisma of their heroes. So what do? You look at the other half of the population base, and like Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok. What was she not super fun? Do you not want to go see Men in Black International just because Thor and Valkyrie are together again in that movie?
I didn't know that.
Okay, so they're remaking Men in Black, or a new Men in Black.
I knew that they were making it, but I didn't see it.
Okay, so the two agents in that movie are Thor
Oh, that's funny.
and Valkyrie from Ragnarok.
That's pretty good.
They're together again. He's not fat, but
Well, he wasn't fat in Ragnarok.
I just like that's going to be the movie, and it's like, oh yay, I get to see basically more of their Tessa Thompson and what's Thor's name? Chris
Hemsworth.
Yeah. I'm going to get the continuing
three
adventure.
Chris's,
Yeah. The 14 Chris's. So you got to figure that if any one of these characters is interesting enough to cultivate a fan base, because there's a fan base around Groot that's huge right now, right?
Yes.
Everybody loves Groot.
Yes.
But before Guardians of the Galaxy, he existed for, 40 years in the comics, and no one cared.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's a pop culture phenomenon that everybody has a bumper sticker of the little Groot, big-eyed anime baby chibi face.
If they didn't make him a baby, he wouldn't be crazy fan base.
Sure, but they did.
They did.
Because it's fodder. So
It's fun.
all they want to do is say, do you like any of these heroes? Because Tessa Thompson was a lot of fun, and Pepper Potts wasn't, and neither was Captain Marvel. But somebody's got to be. So who?
So I have an actual movie reason,
Tell me.
not just marketing reason.
You have an actual plotline reason why all
In canon.
actually 100% of the Avenger class female
Why we had
fighters
the girlfriend
showed
team
up at the same physical location in a giant battle.
No.
And no boys.
Not why they did it,
What?
but why it needed to happen.
Okay, tell me. Go
so-
ahead. I can't wait.
So Ant-Man and the Wasp were in the van,
Yeah.
the time machine van,
Yeah.
Sure.
right? She should have stayed there,
Who?
the Wasp,
In the van?
near the van to keep it protected, right?
Okay.
But she sees all the ladies getting together for a selfie, right? And then she's like, I want to be in that selfie because they waved her over we're going
Yeah.
to do this. We need all the
Hey,
women
girl.
over here. So she runs over,
Yeah.
van unprotected now, right? And then
The Wasp, realizing the error of her ways.
they're trying to get the gauntlet to the van
Yeah.
with Captain Marvel, which just happened to fly ahead of all the other women. So that didn't really matter anyway.
No.
But so what happened was she would have protected the van from Thanos' sword if she was still there. So she had to be over there. Because if they just let her be, then she would have been over there. But we had to know they're all over there. She no longer over here. Van unprotected. Sword goes in. There.
I was
it has to be Tony Stark that snaps.
I was so
There you go.
in the fight. I was so deep in the MCU.
This is the moment we've all been waiting
I was
for.
part of it. I was just one with my
Immersed in
chair,
it.
just bathing in the MCU.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they just like take a big egg of women empowerment and throw it in my face. So I'm just like,
Yes.
where did this get? Why are they all here?
No.
There's so much other fight going on.
No,
like,
no. I felt the same way, but I tried to create a logical reason why.
but that explains why one of them is there. But
The only reason, the only thing I have a problem with this moment is it creates the one and only plot hole of the entire movie.
What's that?
It's an actual plot hole that the lore of the movie cannot explain.
okay,
And this was actually pointed out to me.
okay.
I didn't notice this. I blame my wife.
I haven't watched like
noticing
I
everything.
haven't watched any of the YouTube.
No, this wasn't even YouTube.
Okay.
This was just like my wife sitting there like, why'd they do that? So basically when Captain Marvel fights Thanos, we know that he can like punch at her and she has powers that can like, clunk him, right?
If she's
So-
focused or just anytime.
So watch this.
Okay.
Her powers, where her power comes from is she absorbs energy.
Uh-huh.
And when people shot energy guns at her in Captain Marvel, she just ate the bullet and became stronger.
Okay.
Okay. So when you shoot energy weapons at her, does it hurt Captain Marvel? Nod your head no.
So the gem.
So if she put on the gauntlet and all that energy that goes into everybody else and hurts them, that would basically just turn Captain Marvel into like the most. It would turn her into a being of pure energy and light, and she would just snap and do whatever she thinks repeatedly because the damage is just giving her energy.
I mean, the glove would break.
Yeah, but she wouldn't.
Yeah.
No. But does that mean? Because I didn't know that from Captain Marvel. Does that mean when he hit her with the Purple Stone, she should have just ingested it and not been flown away?
But was she hit with a fist or hit with energy? What hit her?
Like a concussive blast, or did he
Either way, it's energy.
Did his knucks get her?
So he tried to hit her with his knuckles, but he had to additionally use
Oh,
the
he
stone.
did thump her with a big purple beam.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
And
if
it
you
went-
have Captain Marvel who in canon just absorbs energy and got her powers from absorbing Infinity Stone energy, right?
So they had to create.
the same thing that Red Skull touched,
Yeah.
and the reason he's a big giant nothing in space is because he touched a gem,
Which gem? The soul gem?
the Space Stone, the Tesseract.
Oh, okay.
That's why he in Captain
Yep.
America,
you're
the
good.
First Avenger.
Keep
Okay.
going.
Wait.
So in Captain America, at the end of Captain America when they're on the plane, the final fight with Red Skull, he grabs it off of the floor because it's melting through the floor. He grabs it and he's like, "Oh, thank goodness I got it." And then it pulls him into it and he disappears.
I don't remember that.
Okay, watch Captain America.
You should go back and watch
I haven't seen the
You need to go watch like the
Iron Soldier.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Winter Soldier either?
No.
Wow.
Winter Soldier is kind of the best Marvel movie ever except for Endgame. So, you should probably watch Winter Soldier. I don't like Captain America at all, and Winter Soldier is the second best Marvel movie that has ever happened.
It's up there.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, Endgame definitely takes the cake for me.
It's
'cause,
pretty
like,
tough.
How do you beat?
That last hour, you're
Like-
just sitting there like, this is everything. I don't feel like my expectations were being subverted. I don't feel spit on my face. I feel nothing but joy right now.
I don't feel
like
I don't
he
feel
picks
like
up Mjolnir,
they're-
and you're like, well, and some people would say, well, that's just pandering to the fans, and I'm like, I feel
still
really
liked
happy
it.
right now. Yeah, this $2.1 billion of pandering. I'm like, Disney, do you see how much money this is? We have this much money to spend on your movie if you pander. Whatever you want to call pandering now, which is just making fans happy.
Yeah,
I don't
and-
go to movies to be like angry.
Yeah. And this will be the first movie that I've seen twice in theaters ever.
In a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know of
Especially
another.
within a short period.
I can't think of another movie that I've seen 2 times in theaters.
It's
Maybe
been
like
a while.
a rerun of something. Like, oh, it's a special Tuesday night at, this theater.
I've never gone to one of those. I don't think I've ever seen one twice. Because I was like, why would I pay to see it twice? Like, this movie is so good. I'm like, oh, I'll go see that again. That's worth the money 2 times. I want to see it again now instead of waiting for the DVD.
Was Jenny mad that you saw it without her?
No, she's fine.
Okay.
She's fine. It was so.
So they had to take her out of an actual plot to have to take that just for the picture.
But then Captain Marvel when she saves Peter Parker, takes the glove and flies on her own, holding the glove,
Yes.
when all she had to do was sleeve that thing
Yeah.
and click.
But
Yeah,
she-
what was their plan at that? Oh,
No,
yeah,
no.
they were trying to get it to the van.
No, they
to
didn't-
return the stones at that point,
She
right?
didn't know the full plan that you can just do that. She wasn't aware of that.
She didn't know she could put on the glove and snap.
No, because she wasn't there. She showed up like super late. Remember?
Because I'm sure when she was alive, when Black Widow was watching the world for 5 years and she checked in, they discussed who did it and why
And how?
no.
yeah.
But what says she could do it?
and she's aware of the Infinity Gems because she got her powers from one.
I'm just saying.
You
she
haven't
well,
seen the movie. You've
well,
seen
hang
the
on.
Tesseract
I'm just
comes up
saying-
in like 9 movies, and you've seen 2 of them.
I'm saying, Justin. I'm
So-
saying she wasn't there for the plan,
She wasn't because she's the strongest Avenger.
and she had to save the whole universe.
So, but what if her hand just didn't fit in the big glove?
The glove was Iron Man's
Oh, that was
glove
the Iron Man glove
shaped
that
your hand.
molded. Okay, cool. Yeah, no,
But
she
wait.
should have put it on.
No, it probably broke after Hulk used it.
But
But then why was Thanos
wearing
going
it.
to use it?
Thanos
Same
wore
size
it.
hand.
But
Oh, you mean like the molding part of it?
Yes.
Sure. Whatever.
eh.
Why-
It
why-
stayed all big
Why
when they
did
were holding
Why
it.
didn't she just take it and fly off deep into space and just run away
Yeah,
with it?
just point straight up and go Cthulhu.
No one's gonna catch her.
No, because the beam. Oh no, the ship already died.
Is
Never mind.
she? Yeah, no.
Ship already died.
Just grab stones, take off, go up.
Even if the ship didn't already die, like she can outrun anything.
no, but they had to get it back into their other time zones.
That's
or else it'd
fine.
Start ripping apart.
Come back another time.
But she somehow knew that plan.
I'm just saying the biggest, as much as they kept Captain Marvel out of it, which was nice, and
was good.
I think that one little when she just splooshed through the ship, I was like, that's a nice use of Captain Marvel. Just that 1 minute where that last minute save.
Yeah, when she went into hyperspeed,
Because
right?
it was super desperate, and then she crashes the ship. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like she turned into Sonic the Hedgehog for like a second, and then
She
just-
turned into any Star Wars ship with a light speed drive.
Yep.
She was Admiral Holdo.
Yeah.
And you can be too.
So
Hey.
I did like that the ship knew, like, oh poop.
Brrr.
No, that it started not raining fire.
Hey, you got all droopy.
And no, it just went and shoot. Instead of shooting the ground, it
Oh
shot
yeah,
her.
it like saw her coming. It's like, oh no,
it looked up. It was like,
yeah, she's more powerful.
ah.
Stop it.
Yeah, so they pointed out, and they're like, what are they?
and then they gave her a whole bunch of energy to
Yeah.
blow through the ship.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good point.
Yeah, but they didn't. The only wasted character in this movie because Ant-Man got to be cool,
Yep.
right? Got
He
to
was
turn
giant.
big. He got to punch a slug in the face and step on people. Like we got to see Valkyrie and all the girls be cool. We got to see Iron Man say, "I am Iron Man." We got to see Captain America hold Mjolnir and say, "Avengers assemble." Like the wish list of stuff.
Yeah.
Because in every other movie they didn't let him say Avengers assemble. This one, at the very last minute when it was most important, we get to hear those words come out of that face. I mean, everybody else got, and then Hulk did nothing. Like he did no.
Oh gosh, I've been waiting to talk about how disappointing Hulk was. Like,
I mean, I'm okay with them doing Professor Hulk. But we've had other versions of the Hulk, like World Breaker Hulk, where he literally cracks the planet in half. You know,
yeah, like
And
what happened to the Hulk that gets infinitely strong? Like, why does Thanos keep beating up the Hulk? Why is that a thing?
Yeah,
Like the Hulk gets stronger than anything.
so we had everybody else get their moment, right? We never got to see the Hulk just be like pick up the one of the landers of things and just like huck
Well,
it back into space.
We've
Like,
already seen the Hulk have his moments. Just like you said, they wouldn't.
we've already gotten to see the other characters have their moments in other
no, but
movies.
you
This was
said-
the fan service movie that gives
For
everybody.
all of them.
You said-
he's one of the original Avengers.
You said that they made.
Captain Marvel got to blow up the ship. He could have taken a pebble, thrown it through Sanctuary 2, and crashed it. He could have just jumped straight up into it. That could have been the moment. We don't need Captain Marvel to do it. Hulk could have just jumped up.
But he was already messed up from the gems.
Who cares? Just use his face. He could have jumped with his face into the ship.
I did enjoy when he went back in time and was like, Hulk smash.
Like tripped off his shirt and then like bumping the car. And
that was fun and cute.
Yeah, that was
But we
fun.
don't get we get to see Iron Man do things that are fun and cute, and like Hulk no take stairs, and when they see Hulk going overkill and like taking the taxi and like turning somebody into applesauce underneath it.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, that was cool. But we never got to see him do that, like go like buck wild. And you would say, yeah, but he got to do that in Ragnarok and the other Hulk movies. But first of all, Hulk is owned by Paramount, which means he doesn't get any of his solo movies, unlike any of the other Avengers.
Yeah.
So shut up.
He's
When we
still
have an
owned by
Avengers
Paramount?
movie, wait, the distribution rights, so they cannot make a solo Hulk movie.
Darn.
So,
Which is why he was the star of Ragnarok.
pretty much.
That was a Hulk movie.
That was the one that we got. Yeah, we just called it Thor because we're like, "Oh, we really want to put Hulk, but we can't make Skug. So
That's really funny.
I mean,
that's what it was.
They did have one Hulk movie in the MCU. It was the second movie of the MCU. It was The Incredible Hulk right after Iron Man.
that was with
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good.
No, it wasn't good, but we don't need to talk about
But
it.
now that we've figured out how to do the Hulk in Ragnarok, and we're just going to do funny team-up movies, I still think all of the other Avengers that were allowed to have their solo movies got to have their moments, and good ones. Like, we let him pick up Mjolnir, but we couldn't have the Hulk just say, like, Hulk smash one last time and pick up, like, half a building and throw it at the ship, I mean,
That would have been fine.
There were
just
no
one
halves
moment of,
building.
like,
Just-
nobody else could have done that except for him.
Just one more Hulk smash, and he just does something really big and cool,
You know-
and then falls over dead.
Or like when we have Thor, like say, come on, strongest Avenger, one last, toss, and then, he throws I'm just saying, give me
Yeah.
one last moment for the Hulk to be like, this is why you're the Incredible Hulk. But he got nothing. Nothing!
But in the comic book,
Nothing!
oh my gosh, in the comic books,
Being loud for the sake of loud is fun.
in the comic books, Justin,
It's not that loud in my
when
headphones.
he is Professor Hulk,
Yeah.
when he finally gets there,
Yeah.
does he go nuts?
I'm saying
No, answer my question.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
This is one of the comic book crossovers that I'm not sure of.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Go on. I just turned up Justin's headphones a bit, so when he yells, he actually hurts himself a little bit.
So,
Here, I'll turn you down. Here, I'll turn you back down. There you go.
but okay. So when is he? He's
Okay.
Professor Hulk right now, but when does he turn yellow? Does he turn yellow, or is that a different guy?
He's gray and then green. All I'm saying is that everybody else got to display their power at its absolute peak. For goodness sakes, Thor got to hold Stormbreaker and Mjolnir at the same time and go nuts.
Sucks for that timeline he took Mjolnir from.
Right.
When Captain America brought back the stones, he brought back.
He did
Mjolnir.
bring it. I made sure at the end he brought that back.
Yeah.
It was, but still, everybody
second time I
else
saw
got
it.
there. We didn't get a proton cannon, which they kept teasing on YouTube. That's the last time I ever trust the internet, because I thought for sure, as many times as I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and said proton cannon and just watched this laser beam the size of a house just squanch somebody right in the face. I was so ready for it. Just come on. And they
But
did
didn't
some,
Iron Man have that in the game?
no, so did I? Who did I say?
No, who said it? Who?
The proton cannon was Iron Man.
Okay.
So we never saw Iron Man. We saw him shoot laser beams and stuff.
Maybe that's part of Iron Woman's suit. And
Sure.
she'll get to do it.
Yeah, that's why.
That's part of Rescue,
That's
is the
why
proton cannon.
So that's why the what's it called, the woman scene, when they started attacking Thanos,
Yeah.
he turned into a ragdoll immediately when it was just two regular laser beams.
Oh, sure. I just.
He goes tumble, tumble, tumble. Oh yeah, it's the ladies' laser beams. So now I'm a ragdoll.
Oops. Yeah, got to take that one.
Gosh.
I just wanted everybody to get their moment, and it was glaring when everybody else did in the original team. Like, for instance, the girl. Okay, here, let me explain a corollary moment. When Wanda had Vision taken away from her, she when Ultron hurt her brother,
Yeah.
she ripped Ultron's head. Like every time Wanda's gotten something taken away from her, she's been able to go nuts, and we've been able to see her unleash, right? But then when Hulk got Natasha Romanoff taken away, he had no corollary. He was like, "Oh shucks, she's gone." Nobody looked at him and said, "Do it for Natasha. Do it for Nat. Do it for Auntie Nat." And he would just be like, "One last time." And just go Super Saiyan 20 on that. That's all. That's I wish that's all.
Is she back though?
No.
Because he tried to get her back.
No.
She gone.
Yeah.
When you pay for it for a stone, when they put the stones back,
Why didn't they just go get her from a different timeline?
I don't know, because then she wouldn't be in that timeline. And
Gamora.
Did you think it was going to be her or Hawkeye?
Oh man, that was such an intense scene. I didn't know. I had no idea.
I went into that scene because it was obvious where it was headed. Like we know
They go on to Vormir, and you're like, oh, one of them going to go.
One of them has to die. Right. I thought it was going to be Hawkeye.
Because he was going to pay for his sins.
Yeah, I thought he was like, Hawkeye has nothing left to live for. He's done a bunch of bad things.
No, but I didn't know because
and they were leading us up to that. I felt they were leading us to Hawkeye sacrificing himself that whole movie with like all
his kids.
Sad Hawkeye stuff, and then he's going to be like, I'm going to do it for my family. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I thought so because of the beginning scene, us getting so emotionally attached to Hawkeye and his family, I thought, okay, maybe it's going to be her, but also he's done a lot of bad things, so he's going to really try to sacrifice himself as well.
Sure.
So it was like really difficult to pan out during that scene what was going to happen and who was going to die. And I did like that he referenced like, you go talk to the Red Skull face, like the floating red guy.
Yeah, he's like, you go talk to him.
Like it was not good. What else did I have for you? Why were some people...
Do you realize the whole movie fails if they had only sent one person to Vormir?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like,
I mean, maybe not. Maybe they just like... Maybe he goes, oh gosh, okay, I'll be right back, and like goes.
No, but they only had
and,
one of the things.
Yeah, but he like flies back to the other planet, like, hey, one of you come with me? I need to kill you.
But they didn't.
Yeah, they get there and they're like,
it had to be her.
It had to be It had to be two people that like loved each other.
Yeah, but why, Justin? Why were people? I can't recall who. Why were people emotional that were snapped, gone when they came back?
What do you mean?
For the battle, there was a couple. I don't remember exactly who.
like
it was.
Spider-Man?
No, not Spider-Man. He was reasonable. He goes, "Hey, all this happened, and Doctor Strange said, get in the hole. Like, come with us."
He knew that he had been snapped, and that now he was back. And then like all he remembers is, I saw myself starting to turn to dust.
Yep.
That was creepy.
Yep.
Now I'm back, and then Doctor Strange said, "We gotta go."
Yes, but there were some people that were getting emotional when they came back right away.
Who?
I don't remember exactly. I can't recall, but
I'll tell you.
Who was it?
I'll like after Saturday when I see it again.
Okay.
I don't remember anybody getting all...
Me neither.
All the snippety snap people. I mean, you had what?
There was only like two of them that I remember, but I don't remember who it was.
Star-Lord? I mean,
and they might be... They knew they were turned to dust, so the fact that they're back at all...
And Peter was aware of the fact that he was turned to dust and that he wasn't dust anymore.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'd be pretty emotional about that. So, Justin mentioned earlier that there was only one plot hole. I would submit that there was another with Captain America at the end breaking the time travel rule. Because he went back in time to a different timeline and then stayed there and then became an old man in the current timeline.
Do you see the problem?
No.
So the whole movie, they said when you go back, you're in a different timeline, and anything you change here spirals off into a new timeline.
No, when he went back to that other timeline, he stayed there.
Yeah, but then he was an old man in the current time, the actual timeline.
Without teleporting back.
No, he did teleport back.
Where?
When? You have to use a pad.
No, you don't.
Says who? They came physically out of the pad each time.
But you don't come into the alternate dimension through a pad.
But they came back through a pad every time.
But
The
you
pad opened up and they came out of it.
So you have to have a pad to go either way.
Yes,
That's what it seemed like.
Or a vehicle with a thing in the back.
Yeah, but that's the pad.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
And he was on the bench right then, but if he was in that timeline the whole time, that means he would not just appear at the bench. He would have been there the whole battle.
He was just like chilling on the bench for the whole battle, right next to the battle.
Like getting rained fire.
But yeah,
No, because when he was on a bench, that was when after the funeral and he took all the stones back. Like that was well after the battle.
why didn't
no,
they
the
notice him?
the battle was in the background. It was right after the battle that they sent him. The battle was still smoking in the background of that scene.
But I'm saying it was still a safe zone where you could have come back after
But
everything
then
was safe.
why wouldn't they have seen him?
It's a little bit of a plot hole.
Okay.
It's a huge plot hole. They broke their their time travel rules.
And they were so emphatic about, no, this is our time. This is how we do real timeline.
Do you see how much I try to forgive the little gray thing and like this is how much I want to like these movies.
Oh no, it's a fantastic
Which
movie, but
is just this testament right here. This is all like
Justin's
these
emotional
people
about it
want
now.
to like your things. And then you do Last Jedi to us. But then you give us Endgame, and we're like, see, you know how to do it. You know exactly what we want. Like, when Wanda was ripping apart Thanos, I looked over at everybody who was with me, and I was like, this is exactly what we wanted Luke to do.
Yeah, this is the moment that
We
Luke
wanted to
needed.
see him just close his fists, and then somebody's head, like, pop like a grape. Like, that's, I mean,
Not just all passive.
this movie was a giant wish list of I wish I could see X do Y.
I wish I could see Captain America.
Hold Mjolnir.
Gosh, when he summoned it that first time, ooh.
Yeah.
Because
When it flew past Thor
Yeah.
into his hand, I was like, chills.
You're like,
Chills, brah. Got them
This
goose
is-
pimples on my arms.
this is it. And then he gets in there and you're like, okay, we're back in this fight. I mean, it was definitely a wonderful back. I don't know how you even choreographed that thing. Have you ever seen Mad Max?
No.
Watch Mad Max because it's literally a 90-minute action scene. Just 9 minutes straight of a continuous.
Is that the one where they're in the vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just the movie didn't have a script. It was just storyboarded. But the last hour of this movie, the kinetic energy that it had to keep everything moving, and how many different pieces did you have to move around? And the only characters you wasted was Bucky and Hulk.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hulk in the flashback was better than Hulk in the rest of the movie because just to see him like explode through the bottom door, angry that he had to walk through all the stairs. I mean, that was gold. And then Loki grabs the Tesseract, disappears.
Yeah, and then,
Just
oh
like-
no.
Just like,
Oh, gosh.
bye
not
guys.
Again.
Like,
just like you see him, he grabs it and he's just like gone.
Like, he didn't even hesitate. He did a true Loki and like,
Nope, I'm out.
This is what I would do. I'm still a criminal.
Yeah. So somewhere that timeline's Thanos never get a hold of all the gems because Loki is seriously out of there.
No, but they
Like-
put them all back. Right in that.
Yeah,
right in
but
the place.
that timeline,
Loki.
Loki still has it because they left that timeline to go get more timeline powder and the gems from
he had
farther back.
He had extra though.
No, he had one more to get him home. He used that one more to go farther back to get it from when it was at the secret military base where he met his father.
And got more Pym particles to go back again after they were out.
Yeah.
They used up all the go back juice they had, but they got a refill in the 70s.
Yeah. So how did he go to so many different time zones, putting them all back?
What do you mean?
I forget. They had more for some reason.
They had to get more. They had to make more Pym particles, which means he could have gone back before they went there, and made that not happen. I don't know. Timelines are funny.
But you only have to go to so many. Like, how do you give the Soul Stone back to Red Skull? I mean, these are things that we don't know how he reintegrated his stones back into their environment.
Yeah.
Like
That's
do
why.
you do you go back into the room with Natalie Portman, pin her down, and re-inject her?
Yeah.
I mean, we just know that he got everything back. I if you get too far into the weeds of how he got them back, like, here you go, Red Skull. Do you just like toss it at your former nemesis, like Nemesis?
No, and then he
just
gives
kinda
you
toss it
Natasha
at him.
Romanoff back.
Yeah, he's like, here you go. This is Baby Gamora. We want the other one.
Yeah.
Like, so they're
No, but it was all around great movie.
just so good.
Fantastic job, Marvel, Disney universe.
I've never been happier that a movie has happened.
Isn't it crazy that Disney bought Marvel during them making this and didn't ruin anything?
Just Disney bought Marvel? Oh,
Yeah.
Fox.
Disney bought Marvel during Iron Man, right? After Marvel made Iron Man,
Oh, yes.
Marvel went up and said, we need to, someone want to buy us, right?
Yeah.
Disney bought them, didn't break it.
And I think they bought Marvel for less than Star Wars.
Or less than, oh yeah, of course.
But
Lucas was,
But just to see all these like heroes that never ever made any money. I mean, all of a sudden being like, if we make a Marvel movie, guys, just pick a Marvel property. If we make a movie, it'll make $1 billion.
yeah.
Like, it's just weird to look at everybody at the table. Like, if we put a movie out, it'll make $1 billion.
But
So-
they have to be careful and actually make them right.
Yeah, you can't just like make a Star Wars movie and
Han Solo's like 20 years longer.
Hmm.
6 parsecs in 7 seconds.
Because our patience does have limits, so don't test it too much, guys.
We'll ban you.
It's
Still haven't seen it.
Still haven't seen it.
it can all go away.
Schrader over there.
I mean, I was super happy. Okay, so everybody's big gripe. Did you guys have a problem with Fat Thor?
No.
Were you sad he was still fat at the end of the movie?
No, I didn't care.
I always felt like Thor's journey had always been one of descent, and since Ragnarok taught us that Thor losing everything made the movie better. I mean, like when Thor in Thor 1 has everything in the world and he's a spoiled rich kid, he's a spoiled frat boy from outer space, he's not cool. So the one thing Thor had left, because he had lost his planet, his family, his people, his hammer, his eyeball, go down the list, Thor had lost it. The one thing Thor had left was his vanity and his, chiseled abs. Yeah. That was the only thing Thor had left to take. So they're like, we should probably make Thor fat because he's more interesting when he's losing something.
I
I mean,
like
everybody is complaining that they fat shamed him.
what?
When?
That's like,
He was still the god of thunder.
yeah, but they were fat shaming him. Like, oh, come on, you need to get your act together. Like,
He did. He was being a
did.
schlub.
You're overweight.
yeah, but that's fat shaming.
He was just sitting in his house.
It's unhealthy.
That's fat shaming.
He was just sitting there
Go to your doctor.
weeping.
That's fat shaming.
Your doctor fat shames you.
He's
Every time they put you on
Probably.
the scale when you walk in.
He was doing literally nothing for months, just sitting there like, so.
Was that really his body?
Yeah, that was actually.
It didn't actually look like his body. It looked
That was really
like a
his
fat
body.
suit.
Yeah, it was Chris Hemsworth.
Really?
That was his
No
actual.
way.
Like, you know how some stars like Tom Hanks got skinny for Castaway?
Yeah, but
Chris Hemsworth actually
I thought that was his
got
fat suit.
his body.
I thought that was CGI. Like
no,
Thor.
no. That was him.
Was that? That wasn't his hair.
That was 100%. No, that was a wig. That's the Thor wig.
His beard going braided and then like unbraiding itself was funny.
Yeah.
Like when he goes all thunder.
Yeah.
Like, it just like braids itself. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. He's like, God of Thunder.
'Cause that's like how his suit goes on, like and
Yeah.
then braid. I'm like, okay, that's a new feature.
Your suit knows. It's like, okay, we need to be in God mode. And
Yeah.
he's just like, yeah, didn't even mind the Fat Thor.
He was wearing a fat suit.
Duh.
He really got me though.
I know. I was
like,
I was
man,
like,
how would you do that to your body?
If Jordan's gonna swing it, and then yeah, sure. You didn't Google it. I saw Josiah digging in, and I'm like, oh, I have like another 60 seconds. Of,
Jordan believing me.
yeah. Just put a timer on it.
Justin knows too many facts.
So in conclusion,
If you haven't seen it, go see it.
yeah. And
That would suck if you haven't seen it and you just listen to all this.
Can I
Or maybe then you go in an expert and you get to spoil it for other people.
Can I have 90 seconds to talk about the Rise of the Skywalkers
Just do it during
trailer?
the song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to end because it's been an hour and a half, I think. So we're gonna end. But
All right.
you have the
So
the
right-
song to
All right,
talk.
here we go.
Yep.
See you guys later. Okay, so here's the Rise of the Skywalkers trailer. You have all of these, you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to Rey? Why are they calling them Skywalkers? But the whole idea was the legend of Luke at the end of The Last Jedi spread, and you're seeing all these kids like, oh, I could be a Luke too. And so now they're all wanting to be like the legend of Luke, and they're all, I'm a Skywalker too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Endgame was great.
Next week, we'll talk about the Spider-Man trailer.
Yay!